Hello and welcome back. Here with Diana Canizaro, I'm Taylor Krimmel bringing you the SHU Sports Report. While most of campus was on spring break this past week, Pioneer Athletics played on.
Sacred Heart's 11th straight win gave the Pioneers a berth in their 4th NEC championship game and gave the program its 8th 20-win season. We head over to the NEC championship game that was held at Coach Bike Court on Sunday, March 13th. Robert Morris came in to battle the Pioneers as they took a 5-point lead over SHU in the first quarter and were able to maintain that lead going into the half, 31-27. The Colonials led by as many as 9 in the third quarter and 6 heading into the fourth quarter. RMU led by 7 with 4:28 to play before the Pioneers made one last charge sparked by 2 Adacia Williams free throws. Sacred Heart went on a 6-0 run to make the score 52-51 with 14 seconds left. Then, with only 6 seconds remaining, Williams had a chance to tie the game but just missed her 3-point shot, which allowed Robert Morris to take home the championship title. But that doesn't mean Sacred Heart doesn't have anything to be proud of. Hannah Kimmel scored in double figures for the 21st consecutive game and for the 29th time this season. She was also named to the NEC All-Tournament team after averaging 11.7 points per game. Also earning the honor was her teammate Shelby Hickey, who averaged 10.7 points per game. As the owners of another NEC regular season title, the Pioneers have earned a spot in this year's postseason WNIT bracket. They will travel to Iowa to face the Bulldogs of Drake University for the first round this Thursday, March 17th at 8 p.m. Well done, Sacred Heart.
Basketball's run may be over, but more of Sacred Heart's athletics have their sights set on becoming a champion. Let's go now to Aaron Burrell in the Update Corner with more news around Pioneer Nation.
That's right, Taylor. We definitely have some champs in the making as both the men's and women's fencing teams were at Vassar for the NCAA Regional Qualifiers this past weekend. For the men, it was freshman epeiist Roman Canone who stole the show on his way to a second-place finish. He earned wins over the 2015 NCAA champion, the 2014 NCAA champion, and 2 wins over a 2015 first-team All-American. With this performance, Canone automatically qualifies for the NCAA championships, and sophomore foilist Tyler Endy will join him after he received an at-large bid on Tuesday. On the women's side, Julia Green and CJ McCarter will represent SHU at the championships. Thanks to her dual match record this season, as well as her performance in the regionals, Green earned an automatic qualifying spot in the championship for the 3rd straight year. Senior foilist McCarter caps off her SHU career with her first trip to the final round. The 2016 Fencing Championship will take place from March 24th to the 27th at Brandeis University. Over the weekend, SHU Bowling placed 7th in the USBC sectional qualifier in Stratford, New Jersey. New Jersey native Sarah Rhodes led the Pioneers in scoring with an average of 19 points, 1-5 per frame, while filling 85% of her frames. The Pioneers have one final tune-up for the NEC Championships, hitting the lanes in Tennessee this weekend for the annual Music City Classic hosted by Vanderbilt. After going into the locker room down 6-1 at halftime, SHU men's lacrosse stormed back to an 8-7 lead with under a minute to go against Vermont at Virtue Field on Saturday. The Pioneers were on the verge of a huge win, but a catamount goal with just 17 seconds left in regulation forced overtime, where Vermont would go on to win 8-9. Brian Massey paced SHU with 5 points on 3 goals and 2 assists, while Alex Dodge led the Pioneers with 4 goals. SHU begins Northeast Conference play this Saturday at Robert Morris at 1 p.m. There's plenty more where that came from, but now I'm going to throw it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. We'll check in again with you later. SHU softball closed out its trip to the 2016 Rebel Games by splitting a pair of 8-inning decisions. In their first game against Hampton, Lauren Delgadillo went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Those would turn out to be the Pioneers' only runs as the Pirates evened the score in the 3rd inning before bringing in the winning run in the bottom of the 8th. Final score, 3-2, Hampton wins. Emily Orozco struck out 12 batters in Sacred Heart's second game that day against Drexel. The rookie was able to hold the Dragons scoreless through 7 innings. However, it was the same story for SHU as they struggled to bring a runner home. It wasn't until the bottom of the 8th, with Haley Desrosiers on second, that Kellen Fillmore was able to put down a sacrifice bunt that resulted in Drexel fielding error and the only run the Pioneers needed. SHU put this one on the left side, 1-0. After those few days in sunny Florida, SHU hoped a flight to Virginia and the Liberty Softball Classic. In the opening game against Rhode Island, Fallon Bavino provided 2 of the Pioneers' 7 hits, but the team left 4 runners in scoring position and fell to the Rams 3-0. Sacred Heart then split their games on Saturday, both in extra innings. Game 1 was a heartbreaker against Norfolk State. The Pioneers tied the game at 6 with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th on RBIs by Jamie Carlson and Victoria Diodario. The Spartans would come back with 1 in the top of the 8th, though, and SHU could not answer. Final score, Norfolk State 7, Sacred Heart 6. Game 2 went in favor of Sacred Heart and included an amazing catch by Victoria Diodario. Let's check this one out. Great diving catch over the rail there by her. Liberty struck first, but Lauren Delgadillo was able to lace a double into right center to bring home Nicole Deisler and tie the game at 1-1 at the end of the 3rd. Deisler and Delgadillo teamed up again in the 8th to bring in the go-ahead run before a Kellen Fillmore double produced the Pioneers' 3rd run. The Flames would cross home one more time, but that was all they could produce as Sacred Heart took the win 3-2. Sacred Heart would go on to win the Classic finale on Sunday in a pitcher's duel with LaSalle. It was a no-hitter on both sides going into the 4th inning when SHU brought in 2 runs. LaSalle was able to cross the plate once in the 5th, but that was all they got as starting pitcher Jamie Carlson would throw a complete game, allowing only 3 hits and striking out 9 batters. It was Carlson's 2nd win of the season and a 3-1 victory for the Pioneers.
Here to talk more about the start of the 2016 season and this month's return to Pioneer Park, Frank DeZenzo is in the coach's corner with softball co-head coach Elizabeth Lucky.
Thanks, Diana, and thank you, Coach, for joining us today in studio. I'm here with Elizabeth Bippy Lucky, coach of the women's softball team. Coach, you have 6 wins in the first 2 weeks of the season, some against some high-powered opponents. Give me a quick assessment of your team's early season performance.
I think we've learned a lot about our team in those 17 games that we've played. We've struggled, and it's difficult going from a gym to a field. And we're trying to piece everything together, figuring out who's playing where, and a lineup that is consistent. And I think after our weekend in Liberty, I think we found the team that we knew we had.
Right. Speaking of Liberty, Lauren Delgadillo, she's off to a very hot start, batting .390, 9 RBIs. She had the go-ahead RBI in the Liberty game. How does it feel to have such an important bat in the middle of the lineup?
Well, when we recruited Lauren, this is what we thought she could do. We told her when she was a senior in high school, you can come in here and you can start for us in center field. And she has played every game since. And she's our leadoff hitter. She's a confident hitter. And she's a great player.
It's good to have always. And on the other side of the diamond, Emily Orozco, she has a 1.32 ERA. She pitched 2 8-inning games, complete games, one against Liberty, as we spoke of. How is she so dominant in the middle of the circle?
I think teams can't catch up with the timing. She's a little slower. She has a rotational spin. Obviously, her bread and butter is a rise that comes in as a strike and then is out of the zone. She's got a great curveball as well. She's an unassuming kid. You would never think that when she's out there that she can perform like this. She's great, fun to watch, and I think she's going to do some damage in the conference.
Definitely. Yeah. So your home opener is March 30th, the first of 7 home games. What should the fans expect from the team?
I think a lot of excitement. I think the girls are hungry. They have a lot to prove. We've struggled for the past couple of years. I think this team has a lot of energy. They're more talented, and I think that they have the drive to win and to succeed and to get back to that conference tournament, which is our ultimate goal.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Coach. Thanks for joining us today, and good luck with your season. The Pioneers coming home Wednesday, March 30th for a doubleheader with UMass Lowell. Be sure to come out and fill the stands at Pioneer Park.
Now to softball's counterpart as Sacred Heart Baseball traveled to Nichols State for a 3-game visit. The Pioneer Bats came alive early in Game 1 with a 6-run second inning, highlighted by a Zach Short 3 RBI double with 2 outs. The Colonels would chip away to tie it at 6 before Dan Schott gave SHU yet another lead, 7-6, in the 6th inning. Nichols would answer once again, though, tying it at 7 in the 7th before walking off with an 8-7 victory. Schott finished the game with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. The trip to Louisiana ended with a doubleheader. Shut out 5-0 in Game 1, the Pioneer Bats once again came alive in Game 2 against Nicholls State. A monster second inning saw 5 of SHU's 7 runs. Jake Fryer and Anthony Capozilio provided a run apiece with back-to-back RBI singles before Jesus Medina had a 2-run single and Jason Sullivan capped it off with an RBI single of his own. Nichols cut the deficit to 7-5 in the 5th inning before Alex Perry came on to shut the door, hurling 2.1 innings of scoreless relief, allowing just 2 hits and striking out 7. Sacred Heart got the win, 7-5. The Pioneers then took on Fordham in their home opener on Tuesday at Harbor Yard. With the score tied at 1, Victor Sorrento started a rally in the bottom of the 9th with a single. After Zach Short drew a walk, P.J. DeFilippo put down a beauty of a sac bunt to load the bases. With 1 out, Cody Doyle provided the walk-off RBI with a grounder to second that Fordham was unable to turn a double play on. Jesus Medina, Jeff Stoddard, and Jason Foley combined to allow just 1 run, with Foley picking up the win after 3 innings of scoreless relief. Ted Shaw was the lone hitter with 2 hits on the day, opening the scoring after leading off the first with a double.
Aaron said he had more for us, so let's throw it back to the update corner. So, how's the rest of the spring break for the Pioneers?
Is there a better place to spend spring break than the beautiful island of Puerto Rico? Well, not for the Sacred Heart tennis teams, as both the men's and women's team ended their trips with a sweep. The men's squad came back from a tough 4-3 loss to shut out Puerto Rico Magallanes 9-0 on Thursday. Brian Power and Matt Dean moved to 8-7 in their doubles play, together with an 8-1 win in first doubles. First-time partners of Matthew Pilote and Schreisen and Derek Chapman swept the second doubles, and Corey Seltman and Anthony Santino took third doubles by a score of 8-1. The winning didn't stop there, as those 6 then finished singles play without dropping a single set. The women followed suit when they swept Minnesota State on Thursday. Katie DiRenzo and Taylor Gouda won their 4th consecutive doubles match, which also puts DiRenzo's winning streak to 7 after a singles win later in the day. Claudia Ruiz and Olivia Podoberski blanked their opponents in the third doubles for the 2nd straight win together, and Podoberski's 11th double victory. The women head to Rhode Island for a matchup with Providence on Friday before they open up Northeast Conference play 2 days later against Fairleigh Dickinson. Men's tennis takes the court again this afternoon at St. Peter's. Men's volleyball sets a season high with 10 service aces, something they had not done since 2012, and a hitting percentage of .35 on their way to a sweep of Holy Names last Thursday at the Pitt Center. Chris DeLucy made it 6 straight matches with double-digit kills with 11, and Austin Arcala dominated the 3rd set with a career-high 6 service aces. SHU will look to extend its winning streak to 3 when their 6-match homestand continues tomorrow against Cal Baptist at 7 p.m. The women's golf team placed 4th at the Lady Eagle Cat Invitational for their 2nd straight top 5 finish to start the spring season. Ellen Niebuhr birdied 6 holes between her 2 rounds to sit tied atop the leaderboard at +3. She would go on to win medalist honors after she beat out Winthrop's Ashley Sloop on the 2nd playoff hole. The Pioneers have a short break before they make the trip to Williamsburg for the William & Mary Intercollegiate, which begins on March 28th. Well, that's all we've got for you this week. Why don't you take us out, Dee?
Thank you, Aaron. Well, that's all we have for you this week, SHU fans. For Frank DeZenzo, Aaron Burrell, and Taylor Kermel, I'm Diana Canizaro, and we'll see you next week.